Berlin University, a guy with the name Oppenheimer, not the guy that invented the nuclear bomb, wrote a paper with what I think should be an award-winningly bad or subtle title for his paper, like this. But what he was taking as a starting point was the idea that 85% of students in a survey at Stanford University admitted to using long words in their essays to make themselves sound smarter. I mean, some of them even said they used a thesaurus to help them pick up extra words. Presumably this is because there's an idea that if you've got a big vocabulary, you're going to be more intelligent. The problem with that is that actually, while that is true, people with bigger vocabularies are more intelligent. It might actually be the other way around, of course. In terms of cause and effect, that doesn't necessarily translate into how smart people think you are when you're writing and speaking. So, to test the idea that using simpler communication words and shorter sentences and things actually makes people sound smarter, Oppenheimer created some artificially more complicated and artificially more simple versions of personal statements, and then asked people to decide whether they could go to university and rate the people that were actually writing them. And it'll come as no surprise to you, I'm sure, to discover that those people who wrote, who read the simple versions of these things, they believed that the authors were smarter than the people who read the complicated versions. What that means to presenters, of course, is that you should always be using the simplest form of words and the simplest ways of communicating things that you can, not just to help your audience understand, but also actually to make yourself sound smarter. Now, Oppenheimer went on to do some follow-up experiments where he gave people two different translations of some work by Descartes, the philosopher Descartes, and one was a complicated translation, one was a simple translation, and of course the people who read the simple translation and who didn't know that Descartes had written the original, of course, they reckoned that Descartes was smarter. That is, they thought the author was smarter when they had the simple translation. So again, it comes back to this idea, you should always use the simplest way of explaining something, the simplest words that you possibly can. Don't commence anything, start something.